All right, so it has been a few weeks since I have met with my manufacturer, and we have a meeting coming up next week where we are going to go over some numbers and determine if I am actually going to move forward. But since that time, it's probably been about 2-3 weeks since I've met with her, and obviously I was excited about that meeting. But now I'm wondering, is this something that I actually want to do? Is this how I want to spend my time? So those are things that I'm thinking about, and I'm still going to let the numbers dictate that. And one of the biggest things is know your numbers. That's what I was saying. Know your numbers is important in whatever business that you're going to do, but especially in manufacturing clothing, because it is a capital intensive business. You want to, know what your costs are, know what you can sell it for. Will the market be able to bear what they need to pay for this item? And being that I already sell a specialty item, it's already, not your average where you walk into, say, an Old Navy and able to buy something for $30 or under. Not the type of clothing that I make. I make quality clothing. I get excited when people tell me, oh, I bought this from you 8 years ago and it still fits great and the quality is great. So my goal has always been to use quality fabrics, because I price things based off of the amount of wears. It may be inexpensive for you to purchase something, but 9 times out of 10, most of the time, it's not necessarily a quality fabric. So while it was cheaper for you to buy it, and wear it 1 or 2 times, with my items, you get years of wears out of them, and the quality of fabric is there. But everybody doesn't think like that, so I don't know. So I'm going to figure out, but more so, I'm trying to decide, is that where I want to spend my time? As you know, or maybe you don't know, but I do have it on this channel that I buy and sell mobile homes, and that doesn't require me to have to do social media. It doesn't, which is like a thorn in my side. Okay, I really don't like social media. I know I'm on YouTube, but that's a different type of social media. So social media, like, YouTube, like Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, all those things for High Goddess is very much seemingly a social media is a big part of that business. And that was one of the reasons why I, stopped doing it before, is because that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted a business that wasn't dependent upon social media in order for me to get the word out or for me to grow it. And now I understand that better, because there are some other tools that I didn't have before that I'm using now that will make it easier. And because I've been doing High Goddess for so many years, I don't necessarily have to create any new content, because I have a ton of content that can just be repurposed. I actually met with a friend, and we were talking about business, and I was just saying that I need another me. I need someone who I can have a conversation with and say, hey, this is what I want to put out there. This is how I want you to do it, and have them manage the VAs, because I do use VAs. I have used VAs in the past to put out my content, but I still have to tell them what to do. And a lot of times that's not my skill set. I want you to know how to do it like ASAP. So I need to have a manager that I talk to, give them all the information, and then they go and manage the process with the other people. I really think that that's what I need, because I'm not a big social media person, and High Goddess seemingly requires a lot of social media in order for me to get the word out. Because Tall Women is not like, other categories where you can go to a specific event and that this is your artist is going to be there. Tall Women are like everywhere, and it's not concentrated in a particular area. So I've always found that to be challenging. But if you know a specific event or thing that Tall Women are, let me know so that I can, or that are Tall Women adjacent, that they are in contact with Tall Women. I love that. I know about the WNBA. I know about volleyball and all those kinds of things, and I've advertised in those places before. So I'm still trying to decide if it's something that I want to do. I'm still excited about it, but the reality of the work that I'm going to have to do is setting in. I was just thinking back to what I had to do before, and I don't know that I want to do that again. Anywho, but yeah. Also, if you are starting a clothing line, start with one design. I never say her name right, but Diane von Fussenberg, she started with a wrap dress. She perfected that wrap dress. She made it in different colors and prints and that kind of thing. And she had one dress, and that one dress has been copied by many, many designers, but it's her dress. She's known for that dress. So if you're starting out, don't feel like you have to create a collection of all these different things, and you got to have a collection for a season and all that. Get good at one item, promote that one item, and as your business grows, then expand to other items. When I started High Goddess, I started with jeans. I started with a boot cut jean, and then the skinny jean became popular, and I expanded to maxi dresses, and then I had blouses, and then I had dress pants, and I was just like, whoo. And then I felt like I had to come out with a collection all the time, but that's not necessarily what I want wanted to do, that's not what I feel like tall women wanted. I didn't need items to come out every season. Most of my items or High Goddess for me is more of a classic look. So no matter when you buy that item, if it's, like I said, someone told me they still have their items 8 years ago and it still looks great. That's what my intent was in designing for High Goddess, that it's a classic look that you can wear it at any point and people not be able to say, oh, you bought that in 2013 or you bought that in 2000, you know, the kind of thing. So I always like a classic look. So, but the biggest thing that if you are wanting to start a clothing line is don't feel like you have to have a collection. Now, this is coming from someone who does not have a background in design. I don't have a background in design. I don't know how to sew. I still don't know how to sew. I still don't know how to thread a needle. I don't have any background in manufacturing. I have very little background in marketing. A lot of that was learned through High Goddess, but obviously I have always worked a corporate job, so I've had experience from that aspect of it. But things are a little different when you're building a small brand. But I did have a little bit of insight into marketing. My background is in sales, so obviously I had a sales background, but this is very different because it's direct to customer. And tall women were used to shopping in catalogs and that kind of thing. So online shopping was not a huge transition for tall women. But if you have design experience and you want to do all that, then you can. But the problem becomes you still have to produce those, and it is expensive in the I forgot what it's called, when you're development. In the development, your development costs are expensive. So that's another reason why you want to limit it to likely no more than, 3 items. But definitely I suggest only doing 1 item and having different colorways or having different prints in that 1 item. All right. So this is just me giving you my thoughts on how to create a clothing line, because I have been thinking to do this for so long and I just haven't. And now I'm finally like, okay, let me figure out what I'm going to do with High Goddess. Record the content. That's what they tell me. So that's what I'm doing, is recording the content. Okay. So I am on my way to meet with my manufacturer. I am so excited. I haven't been this excited about High Goddess in quite a while. I'm excited. I don't even know if I'm going to make anything. I don't know if I even can make anything, but I'm excited. I've had so many thoughts come through my head on the drive over here. I'm just like bursting with excitement. Not to mention that I'm like right around the corner from one of my favorite places to eat. I can't even focus. I don't know if I'm hungry, if I'm excited. I don't know what I am, but I'm excited for this meeting. Hopefully I don't get a big letdown when I go in here. Made it to the manufacturer, about to go in. I'm excited to meet with her. Number one, she is a woman-owned business and she's tall, so she gets it. That is a big part of it. I didn't do that on purpose. I just happened to go to a fabric show, met some people from her business that she had representing her there, and called the number, not expecting to even think of anything. But I've been working with her for probably almost 10 years now, probably longer than that. But we gel, we vibe. She always knows what's going on in the industry, so I'm getting ready to go in here and learn and let her tell me whether I can or can't do something. Or at least let her give me some information for me to decide if there's anything that I want to do. But more importantly, I just want to connect with her, see how her business is going, because I'm all about, supporting other entrepreneurs. And if there's business that I can refer her way, I've done that as well. I referred her people and they use her as a manufacturer. Some of them haven't been able to, but yeah, but more than anything, just to check in and see how her business is going, even if I don't do anything. But you guys can definitely go check out heightgoddess.com. Get this shirt. Yes, I know I'm tall. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. We had a great meeting. Got some things to work on. There is possibility. There is hope. But what that looks like from a pricing standpoint is interesting. Yeah, so many thoughts. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It was a really good meeting. It has taken me years to find a good manufacturer, and not just someone who is just manufacturing the product, but we're able to, let's talk about the numbers. What does that look like? Obviously we talk about design changes and that kind of thing. The one thing that I do love about working with her is the fact that she has a lot of stuff in-house. Before, I had to, even though it was a network, I had to like piece things together because it wasn't so integrated. But now in working with her, everything is integrated. So we're going to do some more numbers, and we're going to determine and let the numbers determine whether or not I should do anything else with Hi Goddess. So we'll see. It's to be continued. But it was a great meeting. I am still excited. I'm excited for the opportunity. And again, I didn't have any experience in sewing, manufacturing, marketing, any of those things. I am just a tall woman who could not find clothing and decided to start a clothing line with jeans. That's what I started with, was making jeans, because jeans is what I didn't have. And so I decided on this journey, and I am still here. I don't know if that makes me crazy or what. My accountant would say I am crazy for this, that I should have stopped a long time ago, but I'm still here, still trying to figure it out. And my manufacturer is a great partner, who's willing to work with me to figure it out and to share some feedback and what she's seeing and that kind of thing. So it's to be continued. I'll keep you along the journey, and we're going to figure out these numbers, because you must know your numbers before you decide to do anything. It may feel good, like it feels great, but if the numbers tell me something different, not gonna be able to do it. But I love my tall girls, because I'm a Hi Goddess. And yeah, so to be continued.